Greetings from the second age of reason. There's a problem. Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican. It seems like you're split in two. A two-party system. That's because you keep buying into the two-party system. You keep believing in the two-party system. Believing in a two-party system is like believing in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. You make up your little list of things you want, and they pick out and choose what they might put under the tree or hide in the basket. They have to check their list on you, and they're checking it twice. They're going to find out who's naughty and nice. Yes, they're not political parties anymore. They're financial entities, each representing separate financial interests, some of which overlap with others. So voting for them isn't going to buy you anything. Their promises mean basically nothing. So we have, the Tea Party upset and going for the Republicans to say, help us, help us. And they've been co-opted by the Republicans to some extent. And then you have the Democrats and the OWS, Occupy Wall Street. You know what? Technically, you would imagine that if this were the case, the Democrats are for the people, that the Democrats would be coming out in force and talking up this Wall Street thing. You would think that the Democratic president would have an executive order. He would just write it out and say, we support them. We're going to collect their ideas and have a task force and see what we can do with this. But no, it's not going to happen, because they are part of the problem as well. Democrats and Republicans both. They're not political parties. They are money launderers for a global system. And America has built up a great deal of wealth, and now it's time to harvest the wealth. It is time to milk the cow, the bull market. It is time to cash in. And some people have noticed it. There are many though, who still sit in their home. They watch their football. They go to work because they still have jobs, lucky them. And so they think it's just a bunch of smelly rabble-rousers. But it's spreading. It's the people who have suddenly woken up and noticed what the system is. It's the great fraud, the great robbery, the great betrayal of the American dream. And now they have come out on this realization and they protest. They are demanding their rights under the Constitution. And suddenly we realize the Constitution doesn't hold the weight it once did. And it's not enforced like it once was. And so, you would think Occupy Wall Street would be calling for the Democrats to help them. Help us, help us. Aren't you supposed to help the people? They're not. They're part of the same system. So, my advice is for the occupiers, there is no help coming. Not from the Democrats, not from the Republicans, not from the court system, not from anywhere. I'm sorry, but you're totally on your own. You have the power. You have the numbers. And you have some very fascinating ideas that have merit. But you're going to have to figure out how to get through the system. You're going to have to figure out, when you look at the feet of clay and iron, that what will it take to break through and have the system come tumbling down. The reason they're so brutal is probably because the system is on the edge at this very moment. They don't want you to think it is. They want you to think that you're all millionaires temporarily embarrassed and your lucky day is just around the corner. But quite the opposite is true. And the people that are realizing this are taking to the streets, many of which have lost jobs, have incredible debts, and whatever. The system was set up for this purpose. The system is expecting a violent reaction, so by keeping it pacifist, you're making the powers that be look very bad. So I think you're getting very close to the core of it. Keep up the good work. So, for the time being, we'll see how it plays out. We'll see if the Democrats try to co-opt Occupy Wall Street. If the president comes up with an executive order to suddenly make a task force to look into this with certain goals and certain timelines and certain milestones, if that ever happens. I don't think it will. But if it does, just be prepared. It's probably a trap. It's like when you are at work and you want to have a meeting and somebody says, well, let's have a meeting to see if we should have the meeting, and that means basically you're not going to ever have any meeting. So keep that in mind. The best of luck to you all in making a newer, better America. Back to the Constitution. Until later, we'll be seeing you.
Utopia, utopia, utopia.